Welcome to another episode of AI in Business 101. In the previous one, we saw how business and technology should work together from the ideation of the scenarios all the way to the implementation of the AI solution. In this episode, we are going to focus on the ideation part. We will see some techniques to help you identify use cases for AI in your organization. And we're going to call this process "There are no bad ideas," because at this stage, we want as many scenarios for AI as we can. You can watch these videos at aka.ms/AI101, and you can follow me at aka.ms/DavidC. Okay, so when approaching this process, you want both technology and business to provide ideas. You want ideas that go bottom up, so starting from the technology, connecting them to the business. And you want also ideas to go top down, so starting with the business and then trying to connect those scenarios, those business scenarios, to the technology. We'll do that in a continuous cycle of ideas, connecting business to technology and the other way around. So let's start with the bottom up. A way to do this is to start with AI's capabilities. You don't need to be an expert on AI to know these capabilities. They are divided in two main areas: perception capabilities and cognition capabilities. Perception means that with AI, you can now understand the world around you. That will bring many interesting scenarios on three primary areas. The first one, computer vision, so the ability to understand images or videos. The second one, speech, which can be speech to text, so understanding human speech, or text to speech, so generating a human voice. Then language, for example, the ability to extract meaning from text or even generate new text. Then the second area, cognition, it's all about processing data with some kind of intelligence. And it could be very simple. For example, in the development videos, we are seeing now regressions, which is like the hello world of AI. A regression takes a series of numbers and they predict a new one. For example, it could learn predicting a sales forecast based on historical data. Another capability is classification. Classification is the same concept as regression, but instead of predicting a number, it's going to predict a discrete class. For example, it can predict whether a picture is a cat or a dog, or whether you are going to buy a product or not. AI can also recognize patterns in a data set. For example, you can identify interesting connections or similarities or correlations between data points in your data set. You have also another task, which is planning. So being able to establish a plan for a certain goal, which is very common with things like learning in robotics that we will see later with reinforcement learning. AI can also optimize a process. For example, minimizing a certain goal like time or cost in a certain process. And the last capability, recommendation. So the ability to provide a recommendation knowing certain attributes. For example, the movies that I liked in the past. So this framework is like a summary that you can use to come up with ideas. But you need to connect those ideas with the business. And that's the top-down approach that we mentioned before. The framework that we use in Microsoft for that top-down approach is our digital transformation areas, and there are 4 of them. The first one, customers. So transforming how you engage with your customers. For example, you can look at how you can use AI for your customer service, or even broader, for your entire customer engagement. So applying AI to a 360 view of all your interactions with customers. The second area is employees. So supporting better your employees so they can do their job better or they can be more productive. Key scenarios that you should look for this particular area is applying AI to optimize repetitive tasks, which is like the basics of AI. Imagine scenarios like data entry or repetitive processes in your organization. But then beyond that one, you can also look at more advanced scenarios like co-reasoning. Imagine, for example, helping employees reasoning over data to make a decision or navigating knowledge. The third one is processes. So improving your own processes in the organization. And here you usually go by the main functions in your company. For example, marketing, sales, finance, HR, and so on. You can identify the key processes in those areas and then transform them with AI. And finally, products. So changing the products that you sell to your customers. And this could be like physical products if you work, for example, in manufacturing, or it could be financial products in FSI, or services in a telco, or the shopping experience if your organization is in retail. So it will depend on the vertical, on the industry that you work. So throughout this video series, we'll see many scenarios from real customers across all of the pieces of this framework. So what I will do is making sure that I connect them back to this. So I will mention the AI capability and the business scenario that they target. You can also find many resources online with customer examples across all these areas. One of them is actually our AI Business School in Microsoft that you can use it for free here at aka.ms/AIBS. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you can watch these videos and the equivalent for technology at aka.ms/AI1on1. And you can follow me in LinkedIn at aka.ms/DavidC. Thank you.